Arham Aziz will take over. He is the anchor for the afternoon sessions. Arham, go ahead. Stage is yours and introduce the first chair. Over to you.
Thank you for the introduction. Now I will introduce Dhikra Muhammad Isa. Dhikra Muhammad Isa is a freshman at Northwest High School in Germantown, Maryland, known for her dedication to academics and leadership. She has a strong passion for science, technology, and fostering collaboration. In addition to excelling in her school, she actively engaged in community initiatives, bringing creativity and a drive for innovation to every endeavor.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. First, thank you so much to ASIT for allowing me to introduce Professor Mushtaq Menon. Professor Mushtaq Menon is a professor emeritus at Washington State University, Pullman. He has over 35 years of experience in teaching, clinical service, and research at 4 U.S. universities. Professor Menon has served as a Fulbright Scholar and visiting professor in 28 countries. He has authored 120 publications and co-edited 3 books, including his latest, Integrative Veterinary Medicine, published in 2023. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Menon. The floor is yours.
Well, good afternoon. As our introducer said, I appreciate your thoughtful introduction. Again, my name is Mushtaq Menon. Sorry to keep you away from your break, but I think because of the time, it does happen in all the meetings, when people are, talking a little longer than they should, but this is fine. Thank you very much again for the opportunity to talk to this very distinguished group of students as well as, the faculty members. So first of all, I would like to mention here, start with for our international students who are listening from various countries, how to get admission in colleges and universities in the United States. I think the main factors to consider for our international students is financial support. If a person is coming as a financial financing, self-financing from their family, or has his or her own funds, then I think the U.S. Embassy or the consulate will require that they have to have a proof of those funds, which means that getting a statement from the bank and things like that. Those are the requirements for visa to get the student visa, which we call F1. Now, when it comes to the scholarships, it is difficult for undergraduates to get it until this person is really, really outstanding and has some excellent, extracurricular activities, and the institution here in the United States really is impressed with it. They may offer maybe partial or full scholarships, which is not that common. But when it comes to the graduate students, master's and PhD, there are many times teaching and research assistantships available. But those are also not easy to get unless you have a record to show that you have had, high grade point average and you have had some research publications and things like that. And then another thing is, depends upon which country you are coming from. For some people, it takes few months to adjust. Other people may take longer than that. So be prepared for that, how to adjust in a new place. Some of the additional requirements for admissions are the test of English as a foreign language or some similar test. For those students in other countries who are going through English medium schools, may have exception that if they provide the proof of their schooling, which was an English medium, high school or senior O level or whatever the school system is, that may be forgiven from taking TOEFL exam. But for students who are going to go for graduate studies of master's and PhD, almost all the universities do require graduate record examination. Obviously, grades are always important. People want to see that what type of grades you have. And then the recommendation letters. Some institution may ask for 2, some people may ask for 3 letters. I just like to make a very quick comment here because I have seen quite a few recommendation letters. In fact, I came in this country many years ago. Also, somebody wrote recommendation letters for me. Please ask those people who you have worked with, who are able to give some detailed account of your background and give us the details about your strengths and weaknesses, because we do all have a strength and some of us have also weaknesses. So I think the evaluator wants to really know all those details. It's not enough that if somebody says, here's Mushtaq Menon, he's a nice young man and he works very hard. That's not enough. We need to have a little more than that information in those letters. Now, when it comes to the universities and colleges in the United States, there are a large number of what we call land grant universities or public universities. Here I live in Georgia, we have University of Georgia, University of Maryland. There's so many different places. Almost every state has at least one public land grant university. Now, the private colleges and private universities are usually more expensive when it comes to the state fees and things like that. Why is that? Well, what you call in-state versus out of state. Like I live in Georgia. If my child goes to the college here, he or she would pay much less tuition fees than somebody comes from the neighboring state even. Why is that? Because I pay fees. I pay taxes to the state of Georgia, and the education is supported primarily by the state. So as an international student, when you come, you do not have the break of in-state fees, so you will end up paying out-of-state fees, which are fairly high. Then there are some smaller regional universities in almost every state. For instance, it may be called Southern, Eastern University of Georgia, things like that, which are usually less expensive than the larger universities. Then we have a network of community colleges, which are also good places to start sometime. It may have a program of 2 years. Some colleges have 4 years program. 2 years program do give associate degrees. Then rural versus city campuses. I think many of our international students from other countries, they know the names of the big cities, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York. But please consider also universities and colleges which are not well-known places. You may have less competition to get admissions in. As I mentioned briefly earlier, that you come as a student on what they call F1 visa, and that F1 visa requires that you are full-time student and you maintain the grade point average, whatever the requirements are. So you really are not allowed to work while you are going full-time studying in the United States. Now, in summer times, you maybe get permission from the campus to work, or maybe during study time, there may be special permission, which may be given by the international program, that you can work maybe in the library or on campus for a few hours if you are eligible to do that. And then, again, as I said, summer work may be possible for international students. Now, those of our young people who are in United States or from United States, I was looking at the job growth in the United States. I think the big part is the health industry. A lot of still jobs available for doctors, nurses, and medical technologists, and so many other health industry related jobs will be available. So are the technologies, and I'm sure all of you have heard about artificial intelligence. So related to computer technology, a lot of stuff are going on. Now, there are some scholarship opportunities. One well-known, which I have been related with for a long time, is the Fulbright scholarships. And there are many other scholarships too. One has to really get in line and try to look up to it. Now, I was speaking to a group of people in Pakistan, so I happened to do some research on students and scholarships available for Pakistanis. So his happened to be a scholarship from Germany called DAAD, DAAD, and they have this information center in Islamabad, Pakistan. But I'm sure they have the similar scholarships in other developing countries too. So, for instance, in Pakistan, they have this German scholarship center available, since 2010. So there are quite a few opportunities there. Australia is the same way. There are scholarships available. Please, those of you who are listening to me from other countries, I'm sure there are ways that you can look at availability of scholarships in Australia. And then the United Kingdom. Now, United Kingdom does say that there are scholarships available for international students. Please take a note of this website, and our coordinator could provide you maybe these slides that you could look it over so that you don't have to write it down, these websites, which will be helpful for you to look into that. When it comes to the Fulbright, just like the name says, it was after Senator William Fulbright, who was a young senator elected from the state of Arkansas. And the mission of this program is to promote mutual understanding between the people of the United States and other countries through an educational and cultural exchange. So this is the largest scholar exchange program in the world. This program sends about 400 to 800 U.S. scholars to about 155 countries annually. And that receives even more than that, about 800 to 1,200 visiting scholars to the United States to teach and do research. Now, here we are talking about scholars means, mostly the faculty members from both countries that come and go, and also the postdocs who have already received a PhD, they can qualify to come as scholars. So this concept was again introduced by Mr. Fulbright, and the concept was he was a senator, so he presented this concept after World War II back in mid 1940s. And then after that, it was adopted by the Department of State. So now it is a program supported by the government of the United States. Now, how this program is organized in different countries, there are United States embassies have a cultural affairs or educational bureaus. They organize and receive scholars, give them orientation, and they are kind of responsible for each country. But there are a special group of countries, which are about 49 countries, which have a Fulbright commissions. And it happened to be that India and Pakistan are those two countries where there are Fulbright commissions. So what it means is that commission has a little more leeway. They have a little more scholarships. They have a separate office. So let me just go through these three at least countries of our South Asia. So in Bangladesh is a typical example where the scholarships are coordinated through the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs and the United States Embassy. So please, this is a very long website link here, which you are again welcome to request your coordinator to provide to you, or you can even go online and look it over and see how many opportunities are available for Bangladeshi citizens to come to the United States. Now, as I mentioned briefly, the United States India Educational Foundation is the name of the commission in India. As you can see, the website is here. And then they have also headquarters, obviously, is in New Delhi, the capital, but they have also centers in Bombay, Kolkata, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So it happens to be that in Pakistan has the largest Fulbright program in the world. It was established, soon after the independence in 1950. So it is one of those 49 countries which I mentioned where we have Fulbright commissions and the world's largest program because they send about close to 150 students for master's and PhD every year. So there is quite a bit, information there. And they have also undergraduate programs that students can come who are already admitted in the local college and universities in Pakistan. They can be selected to come for one semester. So they select about 50 students for this program every year. So they come for one semester to go to different colleges and universities, and they are all expenses are paid obviously for the Fulbright program. So by the way, that is exchange program, as you can see the bottom of the slide here on your right hand side. So it is administered by USEFP in Pakistan, but also in return, there are students from the United States go to Pakistan, and which is handled or coordinated by Research and Exchange Board, or IRX. So the postdocs can come for about 12 months, and that covers the benefits for at least one dependent and him or herself, airfare, everything is paid. Now, again, here we are talking about Pakistani folks, but there's a similar thing in other countries too. So please, I would strongly recommend that you ought to Google it and find out what opportunities you have. Now, the Fulbright degree program, which is a big one, which I mentioned a minute ago, about 150 students are selected, and that covers, again, everything, textbook, tuition, living stipends, and everything, including health insurance. For master's degree, person has to have a 4-year bachelor's degree, and obviously for PhD, one should have a master's or MPhil from their country. So the requirements, again, graduate record examination, TOEFL is required. In Pakistan, they have to have a bond that they'll come back to Pakistan, which is coordinated by Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. All disciplines are eligible except clinical medicine. So you won't get the scholarship for doing medicine and surgery in the United States, but there are some other disciplines that you can come for PhD in epidemiology, public health, things like that, which are eligible for it. So I just want to share with you one example that I was directly involved with a student who came to Washington State University for PhD, which received this scholarship. He was a gold medalist from the veterinary faculty from University of Agriculture, Faisalabad, Pakistan. So he came receiving a scholarship 5 years. You can imagine how expensive it is. The 5 years giving a person all the tuition, living expenses, and also a stipend. So his goal was to get a PhD and become a specialist in animal reproduction. By the way, I'm a veterinarian, so this is what the student came to do. So here he is with me working on cows, as veterinarians do, and I'm with a red hat, and he's working with me. So he received all the clinical training in dairy farms and dairy cattle and horses and things like that. He did a lot of research. He was directly involved with quite a few innovative research that he got really competent. And then he became so competent in surgeries that I would say that in many ways he became better than I could do the surgeries. So he accomplished both things. He became a doctor and a PhD, and then became diploma at American College of Theologians, which means that he became a specialist in clinical, specialization. So I have a YouTube channel, and a lot of the information which I discussed is covered under very short videos, somewhere around 8 to 12 minutes. So I would recommend that if you are interested in more details and additional opportunities, please go to my YouTube channel, which is under Dr. Mushtaq Menon, and you have the web link here. So you will get much more information on that. I appreciate your attention. With that, I'm going to stop. And if there are any questions, if there's time available, I'll be more than happy to answer those. Thank you.
The session is now open for questions and answers.
Assalamu alaikum, Mushtaq sir. This is Abdul Musawir, and I'm a student at Ohio University, Athens, right now, and I'm studying fine arts program. I'm doing my master's there. I couldn't help but ask you: are there any scholarships for in arts program?
Well, these scholarships, which I have discussed, primarily I have focused on the international students, means that you are living in other country. So if you, let us say, example of India or Pakistan, or for that matter, any European country, you apply from there to get a Fulbright scholarship to come here in the United States. But if you're already in the United States, I'm sure there may be some other scholarship that you may look into. I personally have not looked into that. I do know that the number of Pakistani students have received Fulbright scholarships in arts, in music, in drama, and newspapers and television, and journalism, I want to say. So in that way, those are available. But now you are in United States, aren't you?
Yeah, I am in United States. I'm from Indian occupied Kashmir side.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you are obviously from having domicile or a passport of India, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you have, are you on your own or you are on a scholarship?
I do not have a scholarship, but I did get a academic waiver and a TA-ship in the university, but it doesn't cover all my expenses here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have much of information. If you were in medical sciences or veterinary medicine, I would have more information. I know it's not easy for your field to get some additional scholarships. I think your own professors there at the college, the university should be able to give you some leads, where you can apply for. There are so many foundations and so many private groups which fund scholarships, in arts. So that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, thank you. I was just hearing your lecture, and I couldn't help but ask, like, maybe you know something. But thank you
Uh,
so much.
You're welcome.
Dr. Man, I have a question here.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I'm Rizwan Ahmed. I'm running a paramedical college for underprivileged students in India, actually. So, is this scholarship available for underprivileged students who can export to US and just take advantage of this?
Well, all I can share with you, because I have been directly involved with the Fulbright program of Pakistan, and I have
Yeah.
even served on some of the evaluation committees. What I have seen is that even, in fact, Fulbright even advertises that, at least in Pakistani program, that they do prefer students from, underdeveloped areas of the country. Also, they also prefer a woman, the ladies for these.
Yeah.
So under that umbrella, I think one can apply. I do not know, to be honest with you, about India. I would imagine similar policies would be there too. But
Yeah.
I don't think there's any quotas that reserve seats or something. There's not like that. But they do
Mm.
look at it. When I was serving on evaluation committee, when I see a student, especially females coming from really, really rural areas of the country, I would make a special note. I mean, obviously, as an evaluator, I have to evaluate that application according to their previously
Yeah.
standards. But in the
Yeah.
notes, I would put that, that from my perspective, I think that the student should get the opportunity because there are not too many students come from this area, you know?
I see.
So, yeah, look into that. I think you maybe, you know, get some good information, communicate with them, you know, send maybe some email or something to New Delhi, you know, Fulbright Commission office and ask them
I see.
exactly what we are talking about, you know, what are the opportunities for them. Yeah.
Very valuable, sir. Very valuable.
Anything else that I can help with?
Yes, this side Alia Firdaus, mentee of Rizwan Ahmed, sir. I want to ask that is there any, if any Indian student wants to do her his or her masters in technical field, what will be the eligibility criteria?
Well, again, I like to please mention that the Fulbright scholarships are for students who live in their own home country. So that's the important thing that we have to keep in mind. If you're thinking about the Fulbright, means that person lives in India, has to apply from India to come to United States. So the idea is really to get person educated and then go back. You know, I'm not saying that everybody goes back, even though there's a bond, there is a requirement from Fulbright that you have to at least serve as many years as you have received a scholarship back in their home country. So people, let's say, do a master's degree, spend 2 years in Pakistan, and end up again getting some opportunity coming back to United States. So those things do happen. Am I answering your question, or you're talking about scholarships? Are you in the United States, or you are somewhere else?
I'm from
I'm sorry?
I'm from India.
Or you are in India now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Then you can apply for, you know, that Fulbright scholarship. Go on website of this Fulbright India Commission and see what are the opportunities, you know, and when is the deadline, because there is one deadline, I think, every year. For instance, in Pakistan is March 5th of this year for 2025 is the deadline. And for those 150 students they sent from Pakistan to India, I don't know, I think last year, I hope I'm right, saying that they had about 11,000 applications. So there's a lot of competition there, you know? So yeah, please go ahead and inquire that. You may be in luck.
You said the email is Fulbright Commission. How to find the email?
Well, I would suggest, let me just to tell you exactly.
For an Indian, how to reach them?
Yeah, let's see. Can you see my slide here?
Yes, sir.
So here is it. As you can see, HTTPS www.USIEF, United States India Educational Foundation.org.in. So go on that website, and I'm sure they will have, as you can see, even on this poster, which I have copied and put up here, tells you study in United States, Fulbright Fellowship, and so many other things that they offer in India. And by the way, on the right-hand side, it's giving you phone number too, you see, and also the email address. Take a picture of the slide, would you? It gives you the email india@educationusa.org. Are you in India, by the way?
Yes, sir. Presently.
Okay, wonderful.
Sir, as you said that there is a lot of competition, then is there any examination, any entrance examination for master?
Well, there are some, requirements, put it in this way, and you have to fulfill those requirements first. For instance, for graduate education, master's or PhD, you must have GRE, graduate record examination, for all fields, whether you're applying for arts or computers or whatever, So there's requirement, depends upon which type of a school you are coming from. They may also require TOEFL, so you have to have that, So I think just look it over. I don't want to say too much about, because each country has a little bit different requirements, but the basic requirements are these, which I just mentioned. And then I don't think there's any exam per se, but there is an application. There is a very detailed, what do you call it, essay they want to, want you to read. It was very interesting, by the way. They mentioned this year that be careful, don't ask artificial intelligence to write essay for you, because we have a software we can check it for it, So they pay quite a bit of attention to personal essay, why you want to go to United States, and what type of work you are going to do, and all those different things.
Yes, I'm familiar of this.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.